Aye, Captain, he's coming at us. Look out, it's Rodan. Another cookie cars review. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Cool Kick-Ass review with your host Cool Kicks and the Mighty Stevers, bringing you Rodan from Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and NECA Toys. That's right everybody, today for the first time in a long time we're bringing you a NECA Godzilla project, and this one is no different than what you've seen. However, I guarantee I want you to pick something out for yourself, even when I said that. Let's take a look at the box. From this distance, you can see the incredible poster that was posed to us in the movie, just as you saw. Rodan with his talons, ready to grab the C-130 gunship and just take it out. However, I want you to notice the impeccable amount of detail in Rodan's happy little face. As we scan the camera around there, and what do you see? Look at that! Impeccably Rodan with fiery wings, glowing just out of the volcano and coming to get you with his talons on the C-130 gunship. That's right everybody, look at the beak, look at the massive eyes, and we're going to focus here just for a little bit. Alright, there you go. Now I'm telling you, incredible, impeccably, that is Rodan. Now, let's take a look at what our friends at NECA have done for us today. That is the zoom in function coming out. We're going to zoom right out and we're going to get in perspective. Now, first thing I want you to notice as we go mobile for a second is this incredible base. I am loving it. That there is where Rodan is just blown out of the stinker pit of hell and Hades for all that, if you want to call it, and just boom, right out of the mountaintop. Alright, now that is incredible. We've been getting extra accessories with this piece and these NECA figures, and it's just amazing, okay? And there's Rodan trying to fly off without us. So before we get any closer, I want to make sure you pay attention to the base. Look at the base. This is where it blew off the top of it. I'd like to have had the top, but there's more of an explosion that comes with it. And then there, of course, there's a little piece of apparatus that holds up Rodan like a stand, and Rodan trying to fly away on it. Now, let's set the camera down so we can have a little bit more fun here. There we go. Is that good for you? Now please make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz, so we can make sure we're positioning the camera in an aspect that makes it a little better. But yeah, see, Rodan's going to take a flight, so I got to put up there, and then I go down there. Now come here, Rodan. Now go there. It's this beautiful little case. You fly into the camera and to the side. I just want to give you a nice look-see at what Rodan can do. Now the autofocus is going to do that, but I'm going to do something magical and do that. Now look at that. As Rodan is looking at the camera there, you look at his incredible attention to detail on, of course, those teeth. I love the teeth. I love to be able to look at the teeth and say, look at that detail. We go into the mouth, and as we're zoomed in at super max focus here. Now on either end, now if you look at both ends of the side of his head, there's more paint. So there's a lava spew on his left side than there is on the right side, which is very interesting. It's a little pecks of paint. The eyes aren't so googly. The mouth itself is more of a beak, so you're not going to see as much of the teeth in there. Okay, no real teeth. I mean, it's a beak. But then there they are. So I love to see the chompers and the attention to detail on his head. Let's see if we can get that in there, focus in there. Look at his head. Incredible attention to detail. Now I want you to pay close attention to as I pause him right there, because his wings will allow him to do so if you want. Let's get into this focus here. That's his main head, opening the mouth, ready to swallow up his enemies and take vengeance on whoever let him out because he doesn't like Monarch. Now, another look-see. This is the alternative portrait that comes with it. Let's take off the mega zoom for a second, and I'll just bring it up. That actually looks a little better without the super zoom there, and I'll still bring it over down in a second. This is his alternative portrait, and as you can see, the beak is closed. Little bit of coloring, and not too consistent with the paint layer that was with on the left side on the other end. Eye is a little more googly there, hand painted, I presume. Here's just the top of his head, very detailed though. I do love the way that you have the etchings in the mold, so that you can see that he is quite the demon coming out of the pit of Hades there, even though it's just nice assumption to make. I mean, they could make their own movie on Rodan. You just pop him in and out of each of the ball socket there. There's a ball joint within that lets you do so. I like the other head better, so I'll let you go ahead and play with that if you want. But there is the alternative portrait here, ladies and gentlemen. Not too bad, not too shabby. Could, in my opinion, be a little better, because as I showed you the poster version earlier, he's immense. There's just no way to look at that. All right, and then I want you to peer back to our buddy Rodan. How you doing? There you go. Let's go back in the focus there. Oh, I fell down. Are you all right? I'm okay. Okay, here you go. Look at that. Now, it's not to say that this portrait here is not good. I'll put him up to the light here a bit, and it's. I love the way he looks like. His face is charred, almost melted there. However, there's a little discrepancies even with the fact that the beak itself has teeth. Now, do you see? I guess it's almost beak-like proportions there. You know, a little bit of teeth, but not as much as you see on this portrait. Now, that's just a noted, picky. I'm picky about just a little bit of that. But however, let's look at his torso. Torso is grand. I'm loving the torso. Let's set the camera back down for you. The torso is really good attention to detail. I love the fiery painting, the markings that are on his body. He looks definitely like what could have been way back in the day the markings of a pterodactyl, just because on his chest here, the pectoralis, alright, and then they're on his abdomen, and then of course his little, well actually it's a big tail. You're coming down, there's a fiery, almost a phoenix's tail if you're coming down from right in that angle. Let's go ahead and see. Need a focus there. Alright, now you'll look at it. It blends in very well. The fire, I mean, why wouldn't it? He's just leapt out of the volcanic lava and coming out from there. And then, but I want you to pay close attention now as we come from the abdomen and from the chest. Okay, note the paint. All right, look at the detail there. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. There is immense attention to detail. I'm loving the fiery markings. Okay, on the wings. Looks like lava coming down here on either end, all the way to the tail, because he's just leapt out, and it's incredible. Maybe a glow feature for the ultimate, and even more so as we get into the better details of this. Now, if I can spring his wings back now, the trouble I'm having with his wings right now is that unlike the poster, they cannot bend up. So be patient with me here. Yeah, you hear that cracking? That's going to be your figure breaking if you're not careful with it, all right? They do not move upward like in the poster. So I'll bring it back over here. I'd love to accomplish that pose right here. Boom. But I dare not do it because it will break my figure. And that's the other thing that I've noticed here is that with Rodan's wings, even though I do like this feature here, I'm going to go ahead and pull it back almost like an F-14 Tomcat. And in pursuit, they can go back and forward. That's about the extent of how far they're going to go forward and backward as he's flying to go into hot pursuit. And then of course they go up and down, and that's the extent of how far he's going to make it for you right there. Okay, kind of like a bat. So again, if we focus that for you, it's okay. I like it. Again, a very immense attention to detail regarding the sculpt. There's nothing wrong with the sculpt. You got articulation, a couple of points here, 1, 2, then on top of the wings. Kind of 3 and 4, but it doesn't go up, and I'm afraid to break it. And then even come down here, you're not able to actually bring these couple of joints downward, inward, other than going straight up and down in the degrees of pretty much from the right angle. Okay, and then he almost looks like he's flying towards the camera. They're coming after us. Here's the back end of the C-130 gunship, and he's coming to get us, right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, but now another little pet peeve of mine. The feet, the talons of our friend Rodan. He's about to grab a C-130 gunship. Now, even though I don't have one, or the Argo, however, we have a third-party vendor who has been offering Carlos Customs in paint. If you look on our Facebook page, or if you look on our Twitter feed, and Instagram, we advertise for them. They're doing a very exceptional job with customs for the Argo. Excuse me, and you can find one, and it's incredibly detailed. Now, I don't know if it's going to be able to grip it though. If you look at his talons again, let me get out of there. I'm trying to give you a precise look at those talons. Now, do Oh, sorry, Rodan. Alright, now let's come back down here. Those talons look more of something that I've seen on a crow, or even lately a canary. Okay. I apologize, NECA, but these have to be done better, and there's no articulation. They're basically static. Now, and then that, mind you, when I say that, that is on the talons. Now the legs, as you can see, as I just pushed up and down, there's a small amount of range, and I'll show you. It comes, hey look, I can almost like a clock push them around. Now the talons are very pretty underneath. Look at the paint, very good, that's nice. But again, limited articulation. It does go outward, but what's Rodan gonna do with them? I guess he's supposed, I mean, they're almost useless. No, these are his primary weapon. He's gonna tear apart our good friend Ghidorah. Again, with this one, it can come around like a clock, both clockwise and counterclockwise. So, as much as I like that they have the articulation, it's limited. It doesn't bend at the knee, where there could be a knee. It doesn't bend at the talons, and it's not gonna grab a gunship. I mean, if anything, the gunship's gonna, I could blast them away, and you have nothing left. But we'll move on. Okay, now look at I want you to notice the width of the wings. They are not very thick, and they are very fragile. You're going to have to be careful. This is not a toy for little children, because once they break it, they're going to be crying their eyes out and they're done. So if you're looking at Christmas, which I do tell you're going to, you might want to look at some of the others out on the market. Or if you're a high-end collector looking to do some battles, like I will do with my Chaos series, or my Kaiju Chaos series, well then, oh boy, I wouldn't use this one. I'd be using some of the competition. Now, to the back end. Beautiful. Look at that wingspan. Woohoo! Oh boy. Now that I will give NECA credit. Artisans over there, the paint is immensely spot on. Okay, because even though in the poster they used special lighting, I could be using a red super lighting to show you, hey look, it looks just like in the movie. No, this is all natural lighting. I want to be able to show you all points of exactly the way it is. Let's go farther right here. It's almost like a bat wingspan. And then as we zoom in, look at that. Look at the detail. Oh, now that I really love. Look at on those wings. Even his little hands stand out. You know, and then even though they're puny and they're not articulated, they are static and they will break. They're very pointy. Little sharp for your wee little ones, okay? But look, if you want to display them like a butterfly, like it just, hey, look, this is my catch. It's incredible to be able. There, he's a nice display item, okay? And his wings, of course, doing the F-14 pose of moving them back and forth. So let's go ahead and zoom back out. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Woo! Okay, so that is the incredible amount of detail on those backside of his wings. The fiery molten lava coming from out of his tail and the backside of his wings. And of course going into super flight. You know, he's doing that super immense wow, that he can come right back at you and then take out Ghidorah. Now, well, maybe one day Ghidorah will come to play with our friend. But as of now, not yet. You'll have to look at the competitors marking it. So looking at his back inside, again, I'm noticing a lot of detail in the sculpt, but still very fragile wings. Listen as I go ahead and play with it and not speak. Almost paper thin, okay? And I'm afraid, I mean, if I literally had another one and I didn't care to, I'd show you how easy paper thin it was going to break. But now look at this. Now, this almost looks very, very familiar of the sculpt of a bird. So I do like that, his attention to detail. They've put that in, you know, even though he's more of a dinosaur, of a relic from way back of Rodan. They never spotted this in the old Toho series. That is incredible attention to detail. Reminds me of a crow, almost like this. It looks like you could pet it and it would feel like bird feathers, but it doesn't. Okay, and then, let's not forget the articulation on the neck. Okay, now that ball joint is very easy. It pops right off, and there you can see where I would pop it off if I want to put the second portrait on. Actually, that's the neckline, and it articulates all the way back like that. Hello, enemies! I can take yours because I'm a bird. I can turn my head. There's the neck with the paint. All right, and there's the extent of his articulation on his neck and ball joint on the head, which is also very good. I give him credit. He moves very, very well, and back to his flight position, and he can turn and look for his enemies and Ghidorah, who's coming right from behind. Oh wait, my shadow. So again, looking at him from this angle, you can see those joints. both left and right arms. I do like that the arms are very, very, very kind of scrawny looking. I would have put a little bit more muscular look on them, because again, if I revert back to the poster, which it's hard not to do, he's got some bulk on him. This is a muscular guy. Even some of the later figures coming out on the competitors have him really bulky looking. But again, back to the right here, we look at the articulation on this wing, this little joint there, and again on this joint here. So, what's the judgment on this figure? NECA, I think, with the added accessories here, and we will get a close-up of it, this does pop out. Before Rodan pops out, I would have liked to have had the lid. And then, of course, you have this here, smoke power, which is nice. The accessories are nice to have, but I would have definitely wanted to scratch the accessories for more plastic, namely all this here, which is, it isn't... There's the mold, so it's not too hard, not too flexible, a little bendy. But I would have sacrificed all this, including the stand, which it's hard to pose him up there. Just showing you when I started the review, it was falling off, ready to take off and fly, but it goes in the little hole, and that is fine. I gladly sacrifice all of that for a better sculpt, a better mold, a more should I say, much stronger plastic, and something to hold this bad boy. So to kind of show him off, because if you look at Godzilla and you look at the versions I've reviewed already, with the Atomic Blast and the original and even the 2014 edition, this guy, he's the weakest of the bunch, aside from I haven't seen Mothra yet, and I have her. She's lying around here somewhere. Since the transition, I'm still looking for a lot of stuff. But look, that is a nice shot actually right there. Okay, so a very good attention to detail on his beak. Not many teeth, but enough to say he has evolved from the dinosaur nation and simply become that of Toho, the power of NECA's artisan. So good credit with attention to detail on the sculpt. But I have to give for the the negatives of pointing out on the talons, looking like canaries, or of course the wings that are actually very fragile. I would like to have stronger ones, and again sacrificing all that extra plastic there and put it on our boy Rodan. So you be the judge. If you're going to play with him, be very careful, otherwise he's going to end up just like a moth on a wall, displayed after he's been busted and glued back together. He's a very good display piece, and maybe for the ultimate, another improvement, if he's going to be lightened up, kind of like the same colors that we're going to find on perhaps the nuclear blast Godzilla on nuke power there, you have some sort of a lighter feature there, some LEDs nowadays. For the price they're charging the figures, I say it'd be easy to incorporate. Strip of it here, push the button up on his abdomen here, again take all that, sacrifice it, push the button, boom, he's lotzing up for you. So again, folks, you be the judge on this one, but I have to give it a basic 3 stars out of 5 core kicks, or a couple of kicks instead of that. But otherwise it's your decision. Comment, like, subscribe, see if what would you change on this, and let us know as we pose him. See if his legs could extend a little longer, I could have him stand like back in the old Toho days, but unfortunately they're too canary like. He's going to fall, enemies are going to kick him right over. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is again Cool Kicks and the Mighty Stateverse, bringing you Godzilla, NECA, Rodan from the Godzilla King of the Monsters. Until next time, take care. We've got some X Plus coming up from the Fiery series, and we've also got his buddy from the 2000 series, which is his good friend Orga. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. This is Cool Kicks and the Mighty Stateverse saying another Cool Kick review. Comment, like, subscribe.